No, I don't want television to.
Greetings, ladies and germs. The annoying atheist here for another live streaming thing. I have with me the lovely atheist Catherine,
Hello,
and
everybody.
we're gonna, and as you can see, we're actually going to. We have a cunning plan currently in existence to try and get the audio problem permanently fixed with Google Hangouts, and I'm going to try and get that. We're going to try and get that done for you. But we need to test it. Hey, there's a Mello. How you doing, Mello? Welcome to the stream.
Hello,
Uh,
Melon.
so what we're going to do this time, we're going to pick on some can of ham, and then we're going to go over to a lovely string of comments that was left on the last Creationist Canards video from Monday. I have a couple of apologies to make first. Number one, I was very ill on Wednesday, and I not in any way amused or really even able to speak. So the Wednesday stream got canceled. We didn't do it at all. In fact, I don't think I even set it up. Um, we're actually starting a hair late today because things didn't quite go as planned. Didn't quite go as planned this morning, but we have lots of lovely stuff for tonight's games roundup. So I suppose we'll be doing okay for that. Oh, first bid got corrupted by OBS. That's not good. Well, I had a video that got corrupted by OBS, and it got it's when my whole computer shut down. So I can't blame OBS for that. So let's have a look. This is answersingenesis.org. There is a link in the crotch bar. You guys are welcome to go poke around in here if you want. I don't recommend it. It's pretty. The stupid is very mighty. All right. And here's a few things. Here's a thing about this that pisses me off. Richard, I was actually having the same problem. My head kind of packed up. Okay. Answers in Genesis is an apologetics ministry. And let's grab dictionary.com for a moment and have a look. Apologetics. We are searching for the word apologetics. The branch, okay, there is one only definition there too. Apologetics, noun, used with a singular verb. The branch of theology concerned with the defense or proof of Christianity. Now, this isn't quite right because you have Muslim apologetics and Buddhist apologetics, et cetera, et cetera. It can be applied to just about any religion there is. So, Ken Ham runs an apologetics ministry. He needs to either prove Christianity or at least defend it. And I have a question for the panel in the chat, whichever one cares to try and answer it. If God is, as defined by most of them, an omnipotent, omniscient, omnibenevolent creature, omnibenevolent creature.
Benevolent?
What the hell does he need? Why the hell does he need Ken Ham to defend him?
Good question.
Who the fuck is Ken Ham? Because if God is omniscient, omnipresent, and all the other things, then who the hell is Ken Ham? I mean, certainly an all powerful God could just strike me down right here in my freaking chair. Question is, if God is all of these things that the people like to claim, why does he need Ken Ham, Kent Hovind, Eric Hovind, and all of the other apologists? Okay, because as we've determined based on a dictionary,
Mm-hmm.
apologetics is a branch of theology concerned with the defense or proof of Christianity. Or actually, I would even accept the word religion there in place of the word Christianity. Christian apologetics actually has courses in a proper university, Biola University down in Cali, um, that actually teaches this as Christian apologetics as a degree, which I think is kind of sad. So we have Answers. This is an apologetics ministry dedicated to helping Christians defend their faith and proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ effectively. We focus on providing answers to questions about the Bible, particularly the book of Genesis, regarding key issues such as creation, evolution, science, and the age of the earth. Okay, Mello, I would accept that answer. Mello here says that he can explain a simple answer since he's an atheist, there is no God. As debunkers, Catherine is right. As debunkers, we have to provide our evidence. Um, Actually, science can, depending on how fast the man is moving. If he's not breaking surface tension, then he can walk on water. How he would go about doing that is unknown, since since those bonds are not exactly strong. But an object moving fast enough across the water and not breaking surface tension could actually go at a theoretically unlimited distance across water.
Yeah, we can do it now.
Yep, we have bugs that do it all the time. We actually have
Yeah,
lizards that do this.
that's the thing that they repeatedly say in Star Trek, that any technology that is advanced is not enough, it's undistinguishable from magic.
Well, actually, I forget who it was that originally says it. I'm pretty
Yeah,
that
it's quoted there a lot, but I don't
I do
remember.
know who said it first. I
Yeah,
do know who said it first. It was Arthur C. Clarke,
okay, yeah,
lovely author.
yeah.
I'm unfortunately also very dead. Too bad, really. Okay, so let's see what we've got in here. Um, let's see. Apparently, Ken has managed to complete his ARC encounter, or at least he's getting close enough that he can put tickets on sale. Woohoo! He wanted to
Lovely.
turn that into a zoo. It didn't go very well. Um,
I saw an article. He spent 70 million to build it.
yeah, well, and then he sold junk bonds to try and help pay for it.
Yeah.
So let's have a look, Mr. Creationist. What do you do? How do you do this? Um, let's find something good. Um, hmm, let's see. Arkansas Tourism tax incentive? What? Oh, conduct. Oh, it's a tourism tax incentive for the Ark Encounter. Okay.
Give me your link so that I can look it better.
Well, actually, yeah. Here, hang on. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, here we go. All right. How about this one? Target's bathroom policy is against God's word. Yep. You may have heard in the news that Target department stores are welcoming quote guests to use restroom or a fitting room facility that corresponds with their gender identity. This was hailed by most of the social justice types as a step forward. I actually find that I don't disagree with that as a step forward. In fact, I don't think it goes far enough. What I think is that we should get over ourselves and the idea that the other gender is only out to predate the one gender is only out to predate the other.
Again?
Okay. Well, probably because they wouldn't let him spread his bullshit all that far. There's better economics in the United States for this kind of thing. All right, Mello, we'll catch you in a little while. We'll see you in what, about 5 hours, 4.5 hours or so, 5, yeah, something like that.
Bye, Mello.
See you later. Well, no, it'll be a little longer than that. By the way, about 8.5 hours between now and the 9 p.m. stream. Okay. So, Ken's response. Of course, this policy is against the teachings of God's word. Here's a list of scriptures that I think Target needs to consider. Target doesn't have to. It's a corporation, and corporations are by their nature amoral. They will do what the customers want them to do because that's what's going to keep the customers coming through the front fucking door and spending their money. Target wants them to do this, and therefore they're going to. Because Target is going to bend over backwards to make sure everybody's covered.
This policy is against the teachings of God's word.
Okay, first off, he's actually railing about the idea of transgender people, and that just says to me that he has no idea what the fuck's actually going on in the world. Let's see. We've got 3 quotes: one from Matthew, one from Mark, and one from Genesis. Have you not read that he who made them at the beginning, quote, made them male and female? Put the quotes on there. He doesn't need them. In fact, it's actually bad English to do that. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. That's Mark and Matthew, and yeah, we can expect that. It's just one saying the same thing the other did. But the quote from Genesis is a little better. Hey, what's going on, Nunya? We're just having it. We're having a hangout. Gonna bug the shit out of Ken Ham for a little bit. Want to join in? We're looking at one of Ken Ham's blog posts from a while ago. He's complaining about the whole Target thing. God created man in His own image. The image is in the image of God. He created him, male and female. He created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." Well, guess what? I don't see where this even really applies. What Ken is doing here is he's cherry picking. There is no mention of transgender people in the Bible because anybody that was caught doing that or deciding that if he were male, that he wanted to be female, would get his ass kicked and usually killed. So we didn't have a lot of that. Target
So
officials.
the thing is, this has been done, as we had already discussed, for over 50 years,
Hmm.
40, 50 years. It has not been an issue until the Supreme Court approved the gay marriage. So this is called retaliation.
Yeah, this is actually just a. This is Ken trying to stiffen the upper lip of his constituency.
Hmm.
If he wants to make a change in this way, he needs to become a politician. Not that he doesn't have the right attitude for it, because the primary way to tell whether or not Ken Ham is lying is to see whether or not his lips are moving or his fingertips, one or the other. Okay, target officials also need to read that God, quote, created the male and female, blessed blah blah blah, blessed them and called them mankind on the day they were created, from Genesis 5:2. At the same time, the Bible teaches that because of the fall, humans aren't inherently good. The heart, quote, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. That's apparently from Jeremiah. Target
Yeah.
stores are going against the obvious natural order of things, as Roman 1 makes clear. Humans were created male and female.
Then
Well,
there is the confusion about the meaning of creation, because creation is not only belonging to the theology field.
uh-huh.
There are two meanings to creation. It's not only creation from the theological point of view.
Actually, believe it or not, Richard, it wouldn't matter if he realized it or not. It does his wallet good to give no fucks about it. Okay, or at least in public say that he gives no fucks about it. I would have been more entertained if one of his children turned up as a transgender or homosexual.
Yes,
That would be much more interesting.
that would be interesting.
Well, I don't know if it'd be interesting for the kid because he'd probably.
No, it would not be interesting for the kid. It would be a terror for the kid.
Um, let's see. You can read this article on the Answers in Genesis website that gives
Banana.
answers about transgender identity from the biblical worldview. Okay, there's you and your biblical glasses again, Ken. So we're going to take you up on it for just a minute. Transgender identity, wishing away God's design. Holy fuck. Oh, man. Oh. Well, Saxy, that's pretty much the way it works. As long as his followers have money or he can gain new followers that have more, then he's just fine preaching whatever it is that will make him the monies. Or excuse me, that will give them to surrender their monies. He is not above a complete cachectomy on a particular patient. Certainly, he's doing his best to bleed to. Okay, certainly he's doing his best to. He's doing his best to bleed the state of Kentucky completely dry. Let's see. Oh dear. Here's the attack on the Walt of Disney. In the 1940 film Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket sang those famous lyrics to a woeful little wooden boy who wanted to become something different. The tale is touching. In our day, however, people no longer applies this inspirational messages in traditional ways. Anything your heart desires has been hijacked. No, Mr. Owen Strachan. Oh yes, that's very inflammatory. See, the thing is, Pinocchio as a story has existed far longer than that 1940 film. In fact, uh, Pinocchio. sorry, folks. Hey, how you doing there, Raven? All right, give me a second here. I have to make a correction. I will be back momentarily. Would you brief the nice people on Pinocchio there, Catherine? Hello?
No, I was looking another thing.
Okay. If you would be so kind as to brief them a little bit on Pinocchio, there's the Wikipedia article that I'm currently sharing. I will be right back.
Okay. Just a second. Oh, Lord. And my browser crashed here when I was looking. Sorry, guys. So Pinocchio, the name, a variant of common Pinot, pine seed, is a fictional character and the protagonist of the children's novel The Adventures of Pinocchio by Italian writer Carlo Collodi. Um, the aspects of Pinocchio character vary depending on the interpretation, although basic aspects such as his creation as a pocket Geppetto and the size of his nose changing due to his lies or stress remain present across various formats. Mm, okay, you're back?
Okay. Sorry, I'm back.
I'm on the fictional character biography.
All right.
Scroll down.
Hello. Hey, Jane. Welcome to the stream.
Scroll down. I'm on the fictional character biography.
Yep. Scroll down to. I put a link in the chat, but
I read the first paragraph.
well,
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio was we can trace where Pinocchio came from. Carlo Collodi, nice, lovely Italian man. I suppose. But Pinocchio started
I
existing.
read. I'm already on the fictional character biography.
Anyway, this is the important bit.
Mhm.
Is that it was written by Carlo Collodi in 1883.
Mm.
Okay. Ken makes a reference to Pinocchio based only on the 1940 film. Jiminy Cricket was actually a character in the original story. I've actually read said story. But the
Mhm.
important part of the Pinocchio thing is that it's much older than Ken seems to think it is.
Mhm.
Um, so this next paragraph of his is complete bullshit. In ways that Walt Disney could not imagine, such slogans now inspire people to surgically remake themselves. Witness the spread of quote unquote transgender identity, in which men seek to become women and women seek to become men. In 2015, this is no extraordinary occurrence. It is an increasing trend and a major worldview change, a major worldview challenge to the Christian church. First off,
Mhm.
there is no Christian church. There are some 40,000 different sects of Christianity, most of going from very large to increasingly cult like. Um, Creators of Pinocchio, of course, did not have the transgender individuals in view when they made their famous movie. Ken did not, or not Ken. Our friend Owen Strachan here did not do his friggin' homework at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, he has a book that he's going to. There's one. He even has a book in the next. He has his own book that he's going to flog now, called "Risky Gospel." Um, Radical individualism cuts off all moral restraints in order to achieve maximum personal happiness. Well, you do have the grand poetry says you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, apparently apparently people were endowed by their creator with those as inalienable rights. Um,
Wait a second. So, God, according to his views, created the man.
uh,
And
out of a pile of dirt, which is crushed rock.
but a person cannot uh, seek the happiness.
Right.
Okay, good.
Um, in his book Risky Gospel, he calls this mindset narcissistic optimistic deism.
Mhm.
Uh, and of course, I don't even know where this comes from, but he left us a nice reference. Footnote 1. Yeah, where of course he's referring to his own book. Uh, I
Yeah,
can do whatever.
I love people that refer to themselves. Isn't it amazing?
Well, he actually made the reference to his book earlier.
He was talking about narcissism.
Narcissistic optimistic deism. I can do whatever
Yeah,
I
but
want. Many people think.
I think that it's highly narcissistic to use your own book to prove your own point.
Hmm. Well, he's not using it as evidence. He's just telling us where that information is and giving us the entire name of the book. So he's actually okay. This is a footnote, not a reference.
Hmm.
We are chatting about Ken, the bullshit of the Ken of Ham right now. We're gonna move on here in a minute to a lovely string of comments that were left on the last video we did. And I thought it might be good to address that a little bit while we're live, because I am now officially amused by this particular individual, and they need to be, and they need to have they need a nice little calling out here. Uh, I'm not sure if you had anything to do with that, Jane, or if you were just, or if it's just a coincidence. But we're gonna see. I'm kind of hoping not, because I actually like you. Um, okay, but Ken has to approve everything that goes on this website personally, and as such, anything that these people have to say is in is significant to Ken. Yep, Raven found herself back. All right. And God exists to make all my dreams come true. Well, no, I can think of a great many people that don't think that God exists at all, and or can't, or people like myself who don't even find the idea coherent.
Okay, I will pray here for a new laptop. Let's see. Please, God, I need a new laptop. No laptop.
Hell,
I,
hell, they could put a hell. I'm still waiting for God to smack me between the eyes with a cannonball from about 30 years ago. It still hasn't happened. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Go ahead, God.
oh,
Right through the window. That'll be great.
thank you,
Uh,
God, for not sending me my new laptop.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe I need to earn it myself. Okay.
and I'm a good person, but it's okay. It doesn't count.
Um. Here's yeah. Yes, Richard says the LGBT community are an easy target for the likes of him, as there's already a bias against them. Well, okay, yes, they're a little odd in terms of biological paradigm, and we are creatures that are very much defined by our biology. Uh, People that want to go against the grain, well, that's going to sound a little strange for a while. Oh, and apparently you're the kitty goddess now, Catherine.
Not now. It's you are not. You do not belong to the inner circle.
I don't belong to that inner circle. Okay, I see how it
No.
is. I see how that is. All right. Okay. So, the body is this perspective has influenced how people view their body. The body is not made by God for His glory. It is a blank slate upon which we may draw identity, any self-expression we choose. Any identity, any self-expression we choose. Use it, abuse it, do whatever you want with it. This is a neo-pagan idea. First off, I'd like to see. I'd like I citation needed. Okay, neo-pagan, new pagans. You have to describe how these people are following multiple gods.
Where are you? I'm lost here. No.
I'm at the bottom of the second paragraph.
Mm.
Okay, this is a neo-pagan idea. Once again,
Mm.
citation needed. You don't know that these people multiple gods, and if you did, you would have to provide evidence of that to support this claim. Okay, you have to also indicate that there are neo-pagans, quote unquote neo-pagans, and what
And
their ideologies are or must be.
and there
uh
is no footnote with a reference
no,
for to support that this is a neo-pagan idea.
this is a this is a primary claim offered without evidence.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a straight up assertion based on the color of his biblical glasses.
Yes.
Okay, because I know a great many transgender people. So a lot of them are atheists. Some are Christians of some stripe. There's one that was Catholic that I remember clearly. Had been a
Mm.
priest at one point. Decided he didn't want to be a priest anymore. So he decided instead that he wanted to be a woman and leave the church and leave off serving the church. So kind of a thing here. Um, it's just I don't understand where these people think they're coming from. I don't. Um, this individual just in his first couple of paragraphs is
Mhm.
so far out left field that I'm not even sure where to start. Okay, and going down here a little bit, he says we complement one another. Well, yes, male and female are in fact complementary. If you want to be in the middle of that, I have no shits to give. I don't know about anybody else. Their mindset is that we can't change anything. The Bible is inviolate, and therefore everything that would supposedly have come from it should also be inviolate. And as a result, this mindset is that things cannot change in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, welcome back, Nanya. That's as near as I can figure because they've been worshiping the same book now for 2,500 years more, or at least the same book in various incarnations. Um, is
The only complementary thing that there is necessarily if he means procreation.
Yes, that's a well, and on top of
And
that,
not exactly necessarily the presence, the physical presence nowadays due to science.
mhm. However, our basic biology makes men somewhat stronger than women, or at least to a amount of statistical significance. Although most women that I've ever met have better pain tolerance than I do, and I've got a lot of pain tolerance, but that's not the issue. Okay, um, a woman takes on the primary role of childbearing, whereas a man can spread his genetics all over the freaking planet, with the possible exception of Antarctica. A woman is restricted in her procreative ability to the number of children she herself can bear. Um, it's a little less so now as you have sperm and egg samples that you can have taken, but that's kind of where that whole thing goes. A woman is at most vulnerable when she is pregnant, as is any other creature with distinctions between male and female that have to do internal gestation. Some fish do this. The seahorse, actually, the male takes on the bulk of that responsibility. Um, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, we complement each other in terms of our abilities, our general abilities. That being said, it's not it's really not an issue here. Here we go. The scripture gives voice to this reality when it calls ungodly, or when it calls godly husbands to treat their wives as the weaker vessel, and challenges fathers to not provoke their children. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's um, that's a huge pile of bullshit. Let's see. All right. Anyway, moving on. I think I'm actually okay. Have fun going on the clock. We'll see you later. We'll see you later on there, Dunya. All
Why
right.
not?
This guy is so full of this guy is so full of shit. His eyes have gone well past green and brown and over into black and sticky.
Yeah, and he sticks to the creationism and the thing that creation, the noun creation belongs strictly to the theology field. No, there are five other definitions besides the two belonging to the theology field. There are seven definitions for creation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna leave this. We're gonna leave this. We're gonna leave this guy right here. This guy and Ken right here because complete idiocy. I don't encourage you to read this blog post. We will probably go over it in great detail later. But I want to kind of get some. I want to dive into this here real quick. Now,
Mm.
this here started on on our last stream from Monday. The one where we abused Kent Hovind over his attitudes on what evolution is supposed to be, his attempt at redefinition. Um, with a bloke called Timothy Mustad, who's actually turned out to be kind of a fun individual here. Um, he states he can't even pronoun water correctly. Cunt, meaning Kent, is obviously an imbecile or a crafty charlatan. So either way, he's a despicable asshole. We're in the comments section. Yes, yes. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think he would actually quite qualify as an asshole. I mean,
Yeah.
assholery has standards, but we won't correct him on that. Okay. That was 3 days ago. Here a few hours ago, Jay Doe decided she, or it was going to come through and yell at people. He speaks as follows. You know what is sad is the ignorance of people attacking creationists. Okay, so many things wrong with the sentence. I don't even know where to fucking start. That's just your first sentence, dude. You just jumped the shark at something several million times the speed of light. Okay, what do you call everything you can see and not as a whole? Creation. Okay, so he's going to try and define creation as he sees fit. What is the definition of creation? One, the action or process of bringing something into existence. Okay, you believe in the Big Bang Theory, then you believe in creation. You are all morons. Things are created plain and simple. No matter how it comes together, it is a creation of someone or something. Except that that's a bold assertion and you have no evidence. I'll point that out to you in a couple of minutes. So why argue against creation? Might as well argue that you do not exist. Well, first off, I can't prove that you exist, Mr. Doe, except that you're writing really stupid words on my in the comments, and that your sentence structure is completely out of balance. If you were a bot, I'd probably have you recoded. Seriously, you people, pull your heads out of your butts. I don't think we're the ones with the case of cranial rectal inversion, pal. Um, or is it because you believe in evolution? Well, evolution is a process within creation. It evolves unless it has something to evolve within. So, what's the definition of evolution? And he gives a partial here. The gradual development of something, especially from a simple to a more complex form. He missed out half the definition here. Easily half the definition. Yes, that's exactly right, Raven. He has redefined what creation means to fit his particular bias.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this too. So if there was nothing before the Big Bang, then evolution is not possible. Thus, there has to be a creation event for evolution events to take place. No, to be a beginning of the expansion of the universe, which we expect, which is entirely possible based on quantum probability alone. In the absence of a universe, one will begin to exist. Very simple. And it must exist because it's here. There's no evidence for your God. But we're going to get into that a little bit more in a minute. Uh, Go ahead, try and argue the truth of that. You cannot, because anyone who claims to be intelligent would have to agree or they lack intelligence. Truth is truth. Right, I claim to be intelligent. I think I'm more than certain I'm at least remotely intelligent. I can certainly write better than you can, but I'll describe that here. That'll be just a second. You know what evolutionists are? They are like others who try and put the cart before the horse because you really like yelling. Really, you people are ridiculous. Well, okay, let's try that. Let's try this on for size. Here is my response to Mr. Doe or Ms. Doe, whichever.
It's a
Uh,
mister.
I'm
I
gonna
can't his
guess.
profile.
Oh, you actually caught his you captured his profile? All right,
Yeah.
outstanding. So Jane is not responsible for any of this. That's good. I like Jane. Jane is neat people. But I'm glad she stopped by to watch. As well as everybody else, I might add. You could my response, you could always follow the evidence we have to hand rather than uncritically accepting the word of a bunch of Bronze Age sheep buggering savages that wanted a cushy office job where they could have access to virtually unlimited food, water, and human women rather than having to make do with cattle. You can't even properly define your personal sky-dwelling status, let alone provide evidence that it even can exist, or any other creatures that have made that claim, mono or pantheistic. But I suppose it's enough that you share a specific stellar wizard with the Muslims and the Jews, right? As for your attempts at an argument, you also provide exactly zero evidence. There are several complete scientific disciplines that can provide a reasonable explanation of what happened based on the evidence we've collected over 5 centuries. Most of the early stuff has been overturned or refined to a significant precision, and more work goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, somewhere on our pale blue dot. Approximately 8 hours, we're going to do another of these video discussions, this one right here. I'm talking about this stream right here. And you're more than welcome to drop by and attempt to make your case. I don't see this person. Not here. I doubt it'll work, but if you want to attempt it, you might start with the assertion I made in the second paragraph. Yeah, the actor process of creating.
Well, there's more. I just can't post everything at the same time.
You're the one making the claim, Jado. You're the one that must prove your assertions. You must provide evidence that can be verified and tests that can be run that have repeatability. Moreover, these tests must have the power to not only make accurate predictions of future behavior of the system, they must also allow for the possibility of falsification. A working theory must also explain all the extant data more parsimoniously than the existing theory, and then something that the earlier theory does not, based on empirical evidence. No, your holy book does not and will not count. It is the primary source for the claims you're making, and thus cannot be used as evidence without truly extraordinary evidence to support it. But then, if you had that, you wouldn't need your holy book, would you? Stand to defend your claim, or fuck off back under your rock. His reply to me. I said some more very unnice things to him later. Oh, and he. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, he's actually had something else to say.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. He's posted since we started the stream. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mr. Rumby. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Very simple.
Yeah, he did.
Mr. Brumby just had that to say over in the chat. J-Do says, hey, when you look out into the universe and around the world, what do you call it as a whole? I call it a universe. Obviously, the meaning of words evades you. I even gave you the definitions. Okay? He is sticking to this word creation like it's a lifeline.
Yeah, but I gave on the side chat the definitions. Let me give you in the inside chat here.
Okay. Especially a product of human. I don't even know which dictionary he used. He didn't specify. The whole universe, including the world and all things in it. Well, okay. I can accept that too. I can accept that as a definition. And that's the one he's trying to beat me over the head with. Except that he's not even applying it. He's not actually at this point even applying it correctly. Let's see. He replies to me, hey, when you look at yeah, okay. Regardless of how intelligent you think you are, all that you see is called creation, and there is no other word that can be used to define it. There is no evolution without there being a creation first. Now this is your actual equivocation. Okay, you're using the word creation in two different ways to try and beat me over the head with your stupidity. Okay, just don't even. I've already finished playing nice. I'm just going to stop. Yeah, I'm going to stop even trying to play nice. Most of the sciences we have today were because of men like Plato, Socrates, Archimedes, etc. Even those men, with all their knowledge and wisdom, did not deny creation. That's because they were pantheists, most of them, and the ones that weren't were something resembling were deists or something that vaguely represented modern atheism. Um, Especially when you're talking about Plato and Archimedes. Okay, now let's see. Show me your contribution to the world other than destroying people's beliefs. Well, if I've managed to destroy somebody's belief, then obviously they didn't hold that belief very solidly. And getting somebody to think for themselves rather than thinking with a book, the book that with a 2500 plus year old book, I should think that would be a contribution to the world just right off the top. And now he's claiming victory in that I lost because he can equivocate. Physical creation and he equates physical creation, the idea that the universe is extant, based on definition 4 here from which dictionary are you using for that, Catherine?
Dictionary, Collins English Dictionary.
Okay, that's the Collins English Dictionary. Definition 4 says the whole universe, including the world and all things in it. Okay.
I like Collins.
Collins works. Webster is good. So is Oxford. Okay. Now,
Collins usually does this because it puts first the 5 definitions that are not religious, and then it put with capital C this one.
actually, Mr. Brumby, he in fact all he really did was tailor his original argument to me a little bit, and he didn't do that
Because
particularly
he
well.
separated the first 5 not religious, and then separately with capital C.
Yeah.
The two. That's why I cherry picked my dictionary.
Well, and most of the dictionaries do that.
Yes.
Just not the theological dictionaries generally. Okay. So I spotted this a little while later, and I put up this whole big wall of text because I'm the last person that gets to complain about walls of text. There it is. Theology, the creation God's act of bringing the universe into being, the universe as thus brought into being by God. So he's using a theological. He's conflating a.
The 5 definitions that I gave earlier came from the same dictionary. It gives the 5 non-theological the definitions first, and then he puts creation with capital C and gives the theological the definition of creation from the same dictionary, Collins English Dictionary, complete and unabridged.
Okay.
I like it. I like the accuracy. As a linguist, I like accuracy in the definitions of the meanings of the names.
Okay. Well, I had to. I felt like I had to respond. I'm gonna skip my first paragraph. Because it was just me talking to the other guy that was the guy that started the conversation. Okay. He's failed to do the appropriate homework to engage this topic, and as such doesn't know anything about the multiverse hypothesis, abiogenesis, organic/inorganic chemistry, biology, physics, or apparently the English language. He's approaching his straw man building all bass backwards. Stuff the shirt and the pants with the straw. Don't shape the straw first, and then try and stitch you into it. way more work than it has to be. What he's doing is what he's trying to do is play word games in order to make the actual argument trivial and then declare victory. That's not the way it works. He's already made his claim, and now he needs to provide empirical evidence. At least part of it might have some basis in fact. And then I'm going to list a bunch of shit here that is absolute that makes it look absolutely wrong. No evidence of the Great Deluge, none for the creation myth, the ridiculous claim that man was from a mound of crushed rock. Well, I should say powdered rock here because it was actually supposed to be dust. The lack of predictive power in his argument, nothing for the story of Joshua and the Amalekites, which have permanently disrupted our entire galaxy, not a damned thing. In fact, we have no contemporary writings as evidence of the creature known as quote unquote Jesus Christ, and writings contemporary to the other events I listed above do not indicate that these things happened alongside a complete lack of cultural reverse. And we should actually do a whole video on the idea of cultural reverse, Catherine. Remind me of that later.
Okay.
The Indus Valley people, the Chinese.
Slow down. Slow down.
Indus Valley people, the Chinese, the Egyptians, and most of Mesopotamia all have written materials during the time period in question and say nothing of a worldwide flood. Several instances of local flooding are mentioned, but not one that drowned everyone at any time during the 24th century BCE. On the subject of the Egyptians, there is also no evidence anywhere that they lost a pharaoh and a large army in an event like the parting of the Red Sea. I should think that their enemies would not only have noticed such a thing, but taken advantage of it. Then there's the small matter of translation being more than a little suspect. Some words in any language never translate properly, which leads inexorably to the sort of word games being played by ye olde attack gerbil. He can't win the debate without evidence for his argument rather than forming his negative case against based on a fucked up word game. And then him here, this is the guy here a couple of hours ago that he had some remarks to make on it. Yeah, it's just like forget the reign of the dinosaurs because of God-infected brain disease. So they can pretend like children. Little do they know that word salad in philosophy is the last refuge for those who do not cope and understand reality or use logic, have an understanding in mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, biochemistry, genetics, and that list goes fucking on. Or scientific epistemology, because of a book made up before modern science was even used. Not even considered at the time that book was written. Philosophy is an attempt by egotistical wordsmiths to foolishly fill the gaps in scientific knowledge. I'm not sure I agree with him on this on that last sentence.
Yeah.
There is purpose to philosophy, just that this guy here, J Doe, he's trying to use it improperly.
Yes, that's it.
And philosophers have been arguing about the existence of God since philosophy became a thing. And you know what? That's okay. They can have that argument all they want. Most of the time, the argument doesn't even really seem to. It really doesn't even seem to come together anytime recently. The last one to make a real solid argument
There's
or an
one
attempt at a real
thing.
solid argument was Thomas Aquinas, if I remember correctly.
There's one thing that this J. Doe says that he challenges. He is, give me a word you feel comfortable calling it all other than creation. He does not understand creation. This is the basic thing, and it was with our Dr. Kant, our big scientist that wanted rocks to reproduce in the several weeks of his experiment.
No,
And
he wanted the individual rocks to grow eyes and legs and walk away.
yeah, and when he managed to produce something in the water, he threw the water away. But he doesn't understand what is creation, and he doesn't understand what is evolution, and he wants to apply the theological and also the philosophical concepts of the words. And words have meanings, words have definitions, and trying to use definitions, it's called a fallacy that is speaking from authority.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't have there's yeah.
it's
It's
not only straw manning that he's doing here.
yeah, this is yeah, he's trying to well, he's just the problem is he's not even doing his logical fallacies correctly,
Yeah,
which is kind of
he's
sad.
using, yes, he's using his fallacies incorrectly.
Well, technically, when he's doing this equivocation, he's also applying some strange version of the Texas sharpshooter fallacy. This is the definition that actually fits my argument, and therefore it's the only one you can use.
Yeah,
Um, it just happens to be the right definition for this purpose.
yeah.
He ignores the fact that there are several other definitions, uh, and the one he's using is the one that was actually separate in the freaking dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I went to Merriam-Webster, I would probably find something very similar. Uh,
Merriam-Webster's is one that I avoid like the plague because it's a Christian dictionary.
uh, no, I think it's just an American dictionary, but
It's a
then,
religion, but it has religious origins.
well, I think most dictionaries do actually. But
But
then,
Merriam-Webster's is one that I specifically avoid when I am dealing with a religious discussion because it's very biased in terms of definitions of words in terms of religion. I can look at here. I can specifically look in Merriam-Webster's.
hey there, grasp on reality. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, the Oxford English Dictionary is generally my go-to. Merriam-Webster will do it a pinch. I don't look at Collins quite so much, and I probably should stop. I should probably start doing
I
that.
like Collins. I advise you to use Collins. It's underrated, but Merriam-Webster's and Oxford's are more famous in this kind of thing for translation, for example, or for English as a second language. They are very good. They are very good. They are strong, solid dictionaries. But for definitions, for when you want to cherry pick your words, cherry pick it from Collins.
And actually, you haven't cherry picked anything. You provided all of the definitions in question over there in the chat. Uh, and there's no cherry picking actually going on here. He's the one doing all of that. He's being.
Actually, Merriam-Webster surprised me here.
Oh, really? They did do that. They
They
separated it out.
surprised. No, they don't use the theological difference here. They use if you choose uh, full definition. There is the full definition. I'll try to put it in the side chat. Probably I will have to divide. I will put it
Give me a
here
link.
for you first. Yeah, I will give you here. Okay, link. But
Okay.
this is the link only for creation. But there are more links for creation that don't cover this. Wait a
Okay.
second.
Go ahead and post that in the chat.
Okay, I will post the definition in there.
But you have mods, so
Yeah, I know. Um,
come on. I want the actual.
Let me give you.
Come on. Apparently, it's only really good on smartphones. Okay. Anyway, you can actually post links in the chat now, Catherine.
I know.
The other chat.
I know. You gave me more powers this time.
Actually, you'll keep them until I take them away.
Yeah.
That's what she's looking at. Oh, okay. Full definition of creation: the act of creating, especially the act of bringing the world into ordered existence. Okay, that's actually very similar to the first definition he supplied. Two, the act of making, inventing, or producing as A, the act of investing with a new rank or office. B, the first representation of a dramatic role. Three, something that is created as A, world. Uh, B, creature singly or in aggregate. C, an original work of art. Or D, a new, unusually striking article of clothing.
And because they separate creation science from creation. If
Oh,
you Google creation and Merriam-Webster, you have separate links. If you put creation and Merriam-Webster's, you get several links. You don't get one.
oh wow, that's not so cool.
Yes, that's
Uh,
the catch.
Also, scientific evidence or arguments put forth in support of creationism, except that I have yet to see actual scientific evidence that actually supports creationism.
That's it. That's why I don't like Merriam-Webster.
Now you know what? I take your point. I'm gonna leave. I think I'll just take that one out of my list.
Because if you Google creation and Merriam-Webster's, you will get this.
Back here, you.
Just take a look what you get. Just take a look.
We're gonna skip the word of the day. This is what you're looking at, right?
No, take a look at this link that I posted. That's what you get. Okay, I put in Google Brazil, but that's
Don't worry
okay.
about it. It's fine.
It will give you exactly where it.
That's exactly what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did a direct search.
No, see how it shows up on Google if you search. If your search parameter is enter this on Google.
Okay. Copy. And we'll just paste that right in here.
See, there's
Now,
creation and creation science.
Yep. Okay. Richard, I'm actually mostly recovered now. I'm actually back up in enough of a shape for live stream. And we'll be on again in in about 7.5 hours for the weekly games roundup for you. All right, but yeah, you're looking at that's a lot of crap in there, isn't it? Oh, and that's the Learner's Dictionary. Let's poke our nose in there. Here we go. Learner's Dictionary. Uh, all right. Something new is made and produced everything in the world. The act of making the world.
Yeah.
Or well, this particular version of it offers the capitalized
And
version.
it didn't give you another link that it gave me.
Oh,
A
that's
special
probably
creation.
that's probably because I'm not. I my search habits tend to be different.
This one.
Okay, I'll take that. And here's one called Special Creation. A definition of special creation: the theoretical independent origin of each biological species through special act of creation, as opposed to doctrine of descent. Is there any, yeah, screw it. My ad blocker's not working on that. Wait, there's more. This word doesn't usually appear in our free dictionary, but we shared just a bit of information that appears in our premium unabridged dictionary. Blah blah blah. Oh wow,
Also,
300,000 words that aren't in the free version of the dictionary. How fucking rude can you get? All right, so they're gonna kind of reaching grab. Special creation says that God is only responsible for that. That only God can be responsible for. It's an act of creation that's committed by God that violates all the rest of the rules. Because apparently God can do that, completely readjust the laws of physics so that stopping the sun in its tracks uh, doesn't disrupt the entirety of the universe. Little things,
yeah.
or restarting it so that it starts moving again at the same rate of speed it was before. That's a lot of fucking energy. All right. So anyway, I think we're running a bit over time here. Uh, so for our last act of depravity for the day, for this particular stream, I have a question to pose to the chat and to the people that watch the video later. I'll be taking notes for at least a few days before I finally make a decision. Um, Before I finally make the decision. And it seems that the annoying atheist as a name is not reading particularly well for some types of people. Um, of course, I am an annoying atheist. A lot of people have told me this, but they seems to be a little off-putting to some people. And as a result, we're starting to lose subscribers and thereby views. So what we're going to do here, I'm looking at rebranding, and right now I'm looking at Lord Crocosquirrel in honor of our lovely icon down here. And if I kill the screen share, since we don't actually need it anymore, you can actually see the Dread Lord Crocosquirrel. Isn't he cute? Okay, so the question before the group is, should I change it to Lord Crocosquirrel or Dread Lord Crocosquirrel
Red Blood Scorpus Club.
or Dread Lord Crocosquirrel? Or does anybody have a better idea? Because at this point, I'm all brain cells, or at least eyeballs. If you have a vote, if you have a vote or an option, please list it in the chat over the next couple of minutes. I would really appreciate that. And if you don't get there another time, oh, so I am actually looking for some options and some opinions. Anybody? How about you, Graspel? What do you think? Dreadlord Crocosquirrel says Catherine, and I'm
The
actually not.
Dreadlock Terminator of Stupidity.
That could work too. Their grasp on reality, rationality for the win. That could work. I know a lot of people don't see me as particularly rational. That and I'm doing gaming content on this channel as well, and and the annoying atheist, of course, tends to run people off of the gaming content a lot more. So yeah, I know Grasp on Reality is taken. It's really too bad because that was a good one. I can't do King Crocoduck either, but I have a Crocosquirrel, and he seems to work pretty well. That's actually the what prompted the idea for a name change in the first place. I got a couple of really lovely emails from some folks that said they absolutely adore the Crocosquirrel, but they don't like the name. They don't like my name, so we're looking at a way to rebrand without actually hurting the channel in a major way, but not shoving it in the face of the theists that watch the gaming content that I am in, that atheism is also a thing on this channel, because they are more than happy to watch the gaming content and put their heads in the sand when they see anything else. So being upfront in people's faces about it is probably not the best way to do it. It's not like it's not like I can be the amazing atheist or anything. I wouldn't want to be anyway. That guy's a dick.
I get away being an atheist because I'm lovely.
Yes. But of course, Lord Crocosquirrel / Dreadlord Crocosquirrel is kind of the whole play on the Crocoduck thing. This is a thing that would not happen if evolution were in fact a true thing, which we already have evidence of the fact of evolution, as well as the theory behind it. A Crocosquirrel or a Crocoduck or a Dino Mouse, Tyrannosaurus mouse, that wouldn't work either.
You're not getting any rules.
Or Velociraptor, that wouldn't work. These things just would not happen. If you're dealing in evolution, creation, if we're talking about creation events, any of these things from an all powerful deistic being these things would and could occur. Well, they could very easily occur, and we don't see any of that ever. No, it is actually it's a monotremes, and its lineage is actually, the platypus's lineage is actually fairly well known. But it combines features of the beaver, the duck, and some kind of large rodent. It's got a furred mammalian body. It's got that big wide beaver tail on it, and it's got no. He's being sarcastic. It's also got the fun spiky things like Dionychus used to have. It was the big spur on the back end for the males.
Oh, yeah, a dodo.
There are actually only two forms of monotremes. Both of them live in Australia, the platypus and the echidna. The echidna looks kind of like a hedgehog, which is hilarious. And it lays eggs, as does the platypus. Also lays eggs like a bird. Has the kinky tail and the weird, strange, and a beak on an otherwise completely mammalian body, which makes it very odd. Yeah, monotremes. Dodo is a bird. Raven thought you said dildo. That tells me where Raven's mind is.
Say something that sounds dirty, and Raven shows up.
Yeah, I see where somebody's head's at. I have looked at plant evolution. Actually, I've looked at it more deeply than I have animalian evolution, and yeah, that actually that does in fact make it a lot worse, because we can actually track the development of plants, at least land plants, all the way back to uh, some simple green algae that got washed up on shore and managed to survive. I thought the dodo looked a little different from a pigeon. I do know it was flightless, more like an emu with a large bill. I haven't, I've never, oh, there hasn't been a dodo in existence in my lifetime. So,
Yeah, on the pictures.
and as far back as I reach into the age of the dinosaurs, I've never actually seen a dodo. You know, the average orchid screams that it was built up for for tropical environments, to such a degree that it won't even germinate unless it's in anywhere north of the
Oh, they
tropical
are so
Cancer
parasitical. Oh, they
or
are
south of the
beautiful, but
tropical
they are parasites.
Capricorn. It won't even germinate outside the tropics unless it's in a goddamn hothouse.
They hate me. They have an issue with me.
Do orchids take issue with you?
They
That's,
they do they do. They die on me.
oh, no fun.
Yes, all my orchids die.
Oh, see, the thing is, the way my apartment stays, I could probably raise orchids in here. High heat, high humidity, because we have like the insulation from hell. It was over warm all winter, and now that summer is coming, it's even worse.
Yeah, and
Were they?
I suffer from serious case of envy of my friend. In her at her house, she has a huge garden full of trees and orchids all over.
Oh, dodos for pigeons and not ratites. I didn't. Actually, here's the way the world works. And Grasp on Reality just gave this one to me. Um, you learn something new every day, regardless of who and what you are. Um, he says that dodos for pigeons is not ratites, and that's something that's a claim that I can go look up at any time. I have not yet known Grasp on Reality to be wrong when he makes statements like this. Uh, and although I will go back and check it later, I'm willing to accept what he has to say on its face, because I know that he is usually reliable. I have yet to find anything he hasn't been reliable on. So there. A big and closely convergent appearance. Oh, you just checked the wiki. You just checked Wikipedia. You know what?
Not
That's okay.
fair, not fair.
Well, no. Wikipedia as a jumping off point or for small pieces of factual information is perfectly valid, mostly because they're backed up by something. And if you get a claim that is made on a Wikipedia page, they usually have to put some sort of citation in, and you can go check what they're citing. Um, for general information, I find Wikipedia is mostly reliable. Obviously, you take it with a grain of salt, because if it's not backed up properly, then you really can't use it for anything. Can we? Is this a thing that's? See, when I was actually in school, I was actually in college, I used Wikipedia to get an overview of what a topic was about, and then went through their sources in detail to determine what was actually the truth. And that is a habit that served me very well, especially when I had to do research papers. Because the first thing I would do is I would admit that I used Wikipedia to get an overview and then went and checked the sources um, in some significant detail. Um, I'm not sure how old you are, Graspon, but that may actually be that might be possible. I don't know how old you were back in 1972, so I can't really say one way or the other. I had Wikipedia in college, a few years ago. I was trying to retrain.
Raven is a baby.
Yes, she is, and it's okay. I'm not sure how old you are, Raven. I think if I remember correctly, you're somewhere in your late teens. Well,
Raven belongs to my bunch of kittens.
hmm I'm not sure how old you are, Raven. But if you're asking that question, I'm guessing probably less. You're probably 18, anywhere between 15 and 18. Graspable Reality says he graduated from high school in 1972. So his claim, if that part is true, then his claim of having been a birder probably longer than I've been breathing is considered valid. Okay, so you're 18 or so. 1972 was apparently a long time ago for some people.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
But yeah, that makes me 44 this year. Yep. I went back to school. I went back to college in my late 30s to try and get a degree that I could use to go into doing something silly like teaching. And I would really like to teach. I'm just starting to get a little long in the tooth and especially at like the high school or the college levels. I'd love to do that, high school particularly, but I don't have the education for it yet, and that's the thing that I still have to get money for. And it would be nice to have. Okay. And Grassbond says he started birding seriously in 1974. So yeah,
That's a lot of burden.
that's a lot. That's a long time birding. That would be probably further back than I really remember. Um, well, it is farther back than I can remember. So I will bow to superior qualifications at this point. I don't spend any time birding. I look if I need information on birds. I look it up, and I know very well how to do that kind of research. It didn't occur to you that there's a bunch of that there could be a bunch of old farts running around YouTube, right? Right, Raven?
Yeah. I'm less than 100. I'm not saying my age.
Oh, I'm not gonna. And you know what? I'm not gonna out you, Catherine. I know how. I
You,
don't know
you
how.
won't you won't dare.
No, I wasn't there, and I don't have. I didn't have to be there.
No,
And
you won't dare outing me.
why would
I'll
I do
kill
that?
you.
Why would? Yeah, okay. That I want to see. I want to see you haul your skinny butt up here and try and out me or try and kill me. 61 and computer literate. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, I know. I don't turn 44 for a while yet, and I've been computer literate for a long time. Of course, the first computer I ever got to see was a dumb terminal attached to a VAX an old Vax back in 1978. You don't actually have that much. You don't actually have that much age on me, bud.
Me?
No. Grasp on reality. He says he's 61, and I'm working on that math. And he really doesn't have all that. He's doesn't really have all that much on me in terms of age. Um, yeah, 17, 18 years, give or take a little bit. That sounds about right. The math works anyway. So, I Raven. She said she was out of the womb with a cell phone. I didn't get my first. I didn't get my first cell phone until 2003, 2004, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I got my cell phone first.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get that far into it until after the .com bubble burst, and when cell phones were the new thing. Hollerith cards in the basement of Evans Hall at Berkeley in 1972. Fortran programming. Oh wow, Fortran.
I will not. I will not admit for Fortran programming ever.
Uh
Uh-huh.
huh.
Mhm. Why would I do that?
Well, I don't know, because it would date you badly.
Probably.
No, I actually the first machine I had to work with was that old Vax on I don't even remember what operating system it ran on at the time. Something Unix like. I don't think it was actually Unix. Matter of fact, I'm almost certain it wasn't actually Unix.
I forgot how months old is your cute thing.
The cute thing is he'll be 2 in August. He will be 2 years old in August, and he will have fun with that. And right now, he needs to be he has a problem that needs to be addressed, and hopefully, mommy will do it. That would be he'll be 2 August this year. He was born in 2012 or 2014. My older one was born in 2010. Oh, his is on the 12th.
Oh, we're gonna have a party for Raven.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we will. We'll probably have to drag her into it. We'll probably have to do. Probably have to do a special stream that day, and drag
Yeah.
her in and scream "Happy Birthday" at her. My sister was born on the 16th of August, and I was on the 1st of next month. Of the next month, considering my lazy ass was expected in. My lazy ass was expected mid-July. That didn't happen. Dude, wish I'd known. I would have got on to Richard. You're supposed to tell me these things, man. Happy belated birthday to you. If I'd known that, I'd have got off. I'd have drugged myself into my chair and onto my mic, sounding like crap and everything, just to say something. The older child I have that lives with us is now 6. and that was he turned 6 just the middle of last month, or the first third of last month. My wife a few days later, she got she 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 incremented her number up to 21 for with X number of years of experience. I won't say how many that is. I was sick. Yes, I was very, very ill. And you know what? I probably still would have tried to drag my ass into my chair if I'd known about that one. But yeah, there's been lots of fun over the years, and this one might actually be able to. I figure here probably about a year you'll actually hear real words out of this little guy right here. Now that you said that, Catherine, you need to tell us when in November it is.
Ay, ay, ay.
Come on, you can do it. Yeah, we're way off the original topic now. We don't even know what that original topic looked like. Because this is way more. This is way more fun than breaking our brain cells on Ken Ham.
It's November 25th.
It's the 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? The 25th. Ooh.
I'll be able to remember it. My cousin's is the 3rd.
Don't I have a niece with a birthday right near there?
We have a niece and nephew right around that time. Because we have 2 in November.
Yeah, I think Jacob.
Jacob and Tara both have November birthdays.
Yeah, I know that part. One of them was born the early part of the month. One the late part. I don't remember which. Okay. There was a topic originally. We started out beating on Ken Ham and his Answers to Genesis crew. Then we moved on to the moron commenter in the last Creationist Canards video. So we're now, and since we've run out of those things, we're just kind of bouncing back and forth, being weirdos. So at this point, I'm still looking to see if maybe Raven doesn't have a suggestion for a new channel name.
I think that Raven missed the suggestion.
Well, I think she missed the question, but now that the question is back out there again,
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I have a couple of options right now. I have rationality for the win, TW, or right now we're also looking at Lord Crocker Squirrel or Dreadlord Crocker Squirrel.
Being the annoying atheist is making him lose subscribers from the gamers.
Uncle bored my face and hit me.
So yeah, since I'm still doing gaming content and since I'm doing gaming content as well as this type of content, then I need to have something that will not drive off the theists before they actually get to see what they came for. So, and putting myself out there as the annoying atheist up front tends to not go well. Oh, your poor mother. Richard says that he and his dad share the same birthday and that his sister's is next week. Reality games, maybe. That might be a little. That
Too
might
gamey.
Or rational games. That might be a little. That might wind up being a little misleading, but we'll see.
Yeah.
If I open up a separate, if I actually go through and deal with that second channel that was supposed to go specifically for gaming content, I will probably use Rational Games. Um, so yeah, I've got a couple of fun options. I'll be watching the comments of this for this stream and the one later on this evening, because the games roundup is in 7 hours and about 10 minutes. So we'll have that. I will be asking the question again there. But anybody that was here is certainly welcome there. We'll be thrilled to see you guys. And I think at this point we should probably wrap this up since we're headed since we're on our in the general direction of the 2 hour mark. All right. Any last comments, questions, comedy? Now would be the time.
It's your last chance. Speak now.
Speak now, or hold thy peace until the next stream.
Yes, you will have the chance on the next stream.
Or well, until YouTube's finished, or at least until YouTube is finished processing this.
Or the internet dies.
Yeah. All right. I agree. Kent Ham's a retard. Raven says that Kent Ham is a retard. Kent Hovind is actually worse in some ways. And I think Eric started working for Ken. I'm not sure.
Raven. Thank you for coming.
All right. So I will be back with Zaxter and maybe Mello.
Bye.
At 9 p.m. PDT. The lovely atheist Catherine usually haunts the chat at that time, so that'll be fun.
I haunt several chats at the same time at that time.
All right. So we will talk to you guys later. Be safe and stay skeptical.
Yeah.